No way. Don't yell at us, my guy. We're here. All right, we're here. Um, maybe just a little seconds late or minutes or whatever. That's fine. We're here now. Shameless plug. Go ahead and like, subscribe. Send this out to your buddies, whoever, mom, dad, sister, little sister, baby sister. Doesn't matter. Just send it out. Um, Here as always with Jason Aponte. How's everything going?
Great, Leo. Great, amazing. I mean, it's November 30th, and we are talking about a 49ers football team that has won three
Yep.
straight games, 4 out of 5, and they are the streaking team to play in a week in Seattle week. This is the team that is the hotter team going into Seattle week with a chance to put a dagger into the entire era. I feel great right now,
Woo!
Leo. I feel great.
Ooh, I just love that. Considering what we went through as a fan base with this Russell Wilson and Pete Carroll era, close your ears. The NFC Championship game, Thanksgiving game, and then the whole in between Harbaugh and Shanahan era of just getting beat up, black and blue. Now it's our turn to return the favor to these bozos and just put the fork in them, call it done, and have our little turkey leg at midfield. It's about time. So I'm super, super excited for that. Once again, guys, like, subscribe. The bigger the audience gets, the better the show for all of you. So let's
That's
go ahead
why
and
I'm
do
in
that.
the that's why I'm in the road whites. Like, I know that the
Woo!
look good, play good, like, and this one's for Joe, for Bo, for all of the guys that suffered throughout that entire era. The 49ers have a chance to realistically be the kick a man when they're down, put the foot on the neck, end the era. And this would end their season, and this would be vindication for so many of us because this would be a blowing up of the team, and it
Yep.
would be in Seattle, and it would also, for some reason, let me get into my analyst bag real quick as opposed to the fan bag. Um, I think that always the litmus test for the 49ers was, well, what do you do in Seattle? How do you do? And you know that Seattle's been a house of horrors. If the 49ers can go in there shorthanded without Fred Warner, without Debo Samuel, go ahead and win this game in Seattle, it starts to put this team on a trajectory of, okay, now we don't fear anything. The boogeyman's out of the closet. He's done. Nobody cares. Now you move on. Falcons, whoever, anybody else at this point, you have already faced your fears and knocked it out. And now you really become that team that nobody wants to play going into the playoffs. If I sound overly optimistic, it's only because I just want this so bad, just because of the disdain that I have for the Seahawks. So that's the best way that I could put it. The 49ers have a real chance to put themselves on a different trajectory. And I think that's the whole point of why we're here, which is the name of the show.
Yeah, and it's see with the past 10 years, the Seattle Seahawks obviously have the upper hand against the 49ers. As much as I dislike them, they have the upper hand. So what it kind of reminds me of this opportunity is for me, I have an older brother. It's just you're in the yard playing basketball and the older brother's beating you, beating you, beating you. All of a sudden, you finally develop. You're getting to a point that you always wanted to be, and now you're beating Big Brother. It's not even a contest anymore. You're smoking him. Hopefully, that can go ahead and continue with the Seattle rebuild. I would love it. 12s will turn in back to the 11s, just like they were 10 years ago before the Russell Wilson era.
Before
Uh,
2012.
Before 2012, that's why they got the 12s. It's who the Niners get faithful from? Nobody. Who'd Seattle get 12s from? Texas A&M, and they had to pay for it. Get out of here. You have to pay to call yourself that? Come on now. So
Well, that's the best way to look at it right there is the big brother, little brother thing, right? Like I remember for a long time, my brother dominated me in Madden, right? But when I broke through, he realized, I can't beat this guy anymore. And you know what? The narrative flipped. And then it became, okay, I don't want to play Madden anymore against Jay. That's the type of feeling that we're looking for right here. Yes, you have to finish this one off. This is the best opportunity. It's laid out there right in front of you. Go. I tweeted last night after I sent all my memes about the Seahawks because it was hilarious. Finish the job. Finish it. Finish it.
so I understand this. But the thing is, this is a divisional game against a team that has had the upper hand over you even since Shanahan has been there. So I don't think this can fall under a trap game. If we're looking at a trap game, we could say maybe the Houston Texans, like the Atlanta Falcons were in 2019, at home later into the year. But this one, no. The 49ers have one division win so far. If they want to get above the Rams, and if they even want to, if we want to think far ahead and get above the Cardinals, they have to win this game and give yourself an opportunity to go 3-3 in the division. So
Right.
by no means, I would not consider this a trap game, but I understand the thought.
Right. And having said all of what we said about how bad Seattle looks and everything, I fully expect Seattle to come out and play their best game, empty the tank, and be the team that has been the boogeyman for the 49ers. Like, I am in no way, like, I sent out a tweet today talking about, I don't understand why fans are telling fans not to take this game lightly. That's fine. Fans can take this game lightly. The 49ers cannot take this game lightly,
Yes.
because I can guarantee you that the Seattle Seahawks realize the same thing that we're talking about right now and will empty the tank and play their best game. I have no doubts in my mind that I would be shocked if the Seattle Seahawks played a game similar to the game that they had yesterday against the Washington football team. I would be absolutely shocked. But I don't think that's going to happen. It's a divisional game. They know what's on the line. They know what's coming. I think that they are going to empty the tank, and you have to be ready for that if you're the 49ers. But they don't need to hear that from us. We're fans. If you're a fan and you want to take it lightly and you want to, say, hey, look, you're good, go for it. You have no bearing what happens on the field. That's what I was trying to tell people. Is the team has to do it. The fan base has nothing to do with it. I've seen people say, well, this loss is on the fan base because they took them lightly. Well, the fan base didn't miss tackles. Yeah, the fan base didn't miss tackles. The fan base didn't miss throws. No. Let the fan base talk however they want. Let fans be fans. That's different. The team has to execute. It's never the fans. It's always the team. Come on.
So we got a donation here from Chris. Thank you, Chris. Seattle is hurting. Washington took a lot out of them. If we could put up 150 rushing yards, which I think we will dominate. And to me, that's what it is. That's the winning formula of this 49ers team. You had 39 carries last game. Just missed it. I'll give them the 40 mark. I'll round up. I'll be that teacher. I'll give them, since my teachers never did it for me, apparently, I'll go ahead and round up for them.
Give them that pay.
40 mark. True. True. I took my automatic C's being a football player. I wish I would have
passing. So like in the same way, a football game, when you win by one, a win's a win, and that's the same thing with passing. Come on, man. Let's think.
Yeah,
about this.
I realized that when New Mexico was like, "Yo, what's up with your GPA?" I was like, "Oh, what? C's isn't good enough?" And that's a different story. But that was for half track, half football. I used to be fast before the beer belly, but now the IPA has got me to like a 5.2. If I just worked out, I probably could get to a 4.6 before pulling my hamstring. And then, if I try to get a little faster than that, then I would probably be pulled with the hamstring. So with this, yes, run the ball 40 times, time of possession. The Seattle Seahawks actually had less time of possession than the Vikings did. And the 49ers had a plus 14-minute edge against the Vikings. So continue that winning formula. And I think the 49ers will be just fine in this game. The only hope is that they're at home. BV50 says, yes, but Seattle's been kind of poor at home lately. That home field advantage seems like it's kind of went out the window, but I will throw in the factor that they're playing the 49ers, so these fans want this more than, say, playing the who have they played recently at home? The Vikings or so. So, this means a lot more to their fan base, so I expect them to be riled up a bit more. And there was something I wanted from Jesse early on here into the recording. What's the stat he has that he threw out for you and Andrew in your Sprint Right Option podcast?
Head of the advanced analytics of the Sprint Right Option podcast, Jesse. I'm not even going to say it. You know what stat to throw in here. He'll throw it into the comments and he'll make sure that it's there. Jesse's on top of it. He is on the cutting edge of analytics and understanding the game from a different perspective. You will get that comment, I am sure, very soon, actually. But what I wanted to point out real quick from what Chris said, shorter week for them, going across the country. Their defense was on the field a ton. And for what it's worth, their defense is actually a lot better than people are giving it credit for. Yep. Their defense is not trash by any means at all. I think that
there are two middle linebackers that they have in there, and I think that's why they are where they are. They have two freaks with Brooks and Wagner in there.
Yeah, and I think that that's the part that gets glossed over a little bit, And then the other thing is that Seattle offense, when you watch that game, 3 and out, 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 and they were back on the field. So when you talk about the short week and you talk about how long they've been on the field, this all plays into the 49ers favor. And the 49ers have had the game plan of, Kyle Shanahan might be a little bit nervous about keeping his secondary out there extended, on certain drives, right? And on certain plays. So, you know what? Win the time of possession, do what you've been doing, stick to the script. Nothing's going to change. The only thing that's going to change is this. I mean, obviously we have to talk about this Viking games before we get into the Seahawks game. So maybe I'll just save it. Maybe we should just get into the Vikings game, break that down, and then we can talk about the Seattle game right after, because we're already getting ahead of ourselves at this point. Here's your advanced analytics stats.
No, not Compton.
He's right, though. He's right. These are the stats that are cutting edge. Forget PFF. Forget Pro Football Reference. Forget Sis Data Hub. The 49ers are now 6-0 when they score more points than their opponent. 3-0 since cutting Jalen Hurd. 1-0 when Tom Compton starting at right tackle. And 3-0 without Mike McGlinchey. These are the stats that you won't find anywhere else. ESPN, get the hell out of here. NFL Network, you're a second behind. All of these things are right here in front of you, and you never saw it. Jesse Rodriguez, heading up the Advanced Analytics Department of the Sprint Right Option Podcast. We thank you for all your tireless work, and we thank you for being such a sharp mind.
I hope Jalen Hurd gets a job soon, but if there's another player named Jalen Hurd on the 49ers still, I hope they can find him and cut him and potentially, go to another 3-0 streak at that point. But I love this cutting edge stats. Yeah, like you won't find it in any type, not even betting on the 49ers games. They don't show you these stats from Jesse Rodriguez. I appreciate it. But let's talk about this Vikings game a little bit. I know we're excited for the Seahawks because they're trash and we want to beat them really bad. But I'm going to ask you to describe in one word. You're a little better in the dictionary than I am, so.
Not really. I don't even know if this is going to be a big word. Describing the Vikings versus the 49ers, gritty. And not the dance. Yeah. Why is everybody just doing? I thought we were doing big.
Jerry Rice did it. Jerry Rice did it.
I thought we were doing big stepping. Everything was just straight up gritty, all the stuff. But no, what I mean by gritty is, look, in this league, you have a plan, right? Very rarely do games go to your plan. I understand the Rams game went down the way that you thought it would. I understand you thought the Jaguars thing would have came down. Oh, wow, Christian. There you go, buddy. I mean, I'll send you a bunch more if you want. Like, send me your address and we'll make sure it happens. But in football, games rarely go the way that you think they will. And for a large portion of this game, there was a little bit of nervousness. Things didn't really go that way. And the mark of a good team is finding different ways to win. And when things aren't going the way that you want them to, you find a way to adjust, get back to basics, and win the game. So what I mean by gritty is, for a little while, Kyle Shanahan's yelling at Jimmy Garoppolo. Jimmy Garoppolo responds. Things weren't going the right way. You get back to basics and run the ball, and you continue to be you as a team. Like, you don't let what others do on the other side of the field affect what you have to do, right, to win the game. And the 49ers won a game in a different way. And I think that is the mark of a good team. That's what you should have walked away excited about, because that's what I walked away impressed with.
I'm going to go ahead and use a word. It's more so of a hashtag. I'm just going to go ahead and copy it from the San Francisco Giants. Hashtag resilient SF. Hashtag resilient SF. Wearing the Giants hat here. So how you look at it is basically what Jason said. You started off the game. You got a 3-and-out, but next you had an interception for a turnover. Vikings score immediately on that turnover, make it 7-0. And on that touchdown, you had miscommunication with K1 and Emmanuel Mosley, and eventually Adam Thielen goes uncovered running a post to the back of the end zone where it looked like it was man coverage, so that's not good. And then you score a touchdown, you tie it 7-7. Okay, things are looking better. Now you're down again 14-7, and you get a touchdown right before the half, tie it 14-14, and then all of a sudden you know what happens after that point. But, guess what? The Vikings have a kickoff return for a touchdown. They had an opportunity in a one-score game to go ahead and tie this up on the goal line. But without Fred Warner on the field at that time, keep in mind, and they still got the goal line stop. Resilient from this team. Missed field goal, which would have put it to a 2-possession game.
A what?
A missed field goal.
A what?
I can't remember who I heard this from, but somebody said that it's just, you might remember it. Someone said that isn't it terrible that these games could come down to a guy that can't play football, just kicks the ball. That's what some of these games come down to. That's what almost
happened yesterday.
Yeah, the football team. Guys that don't play football, since they didn't have a kicker on the field, they couldn't make it an 11-point game, which would have sealed the deal for them. But yeah, so I'm gonna say resilient SF on this. If you guys got words here, let me know what it is. Let's say overpaid kicker.
I mean, are people starting to see the vision? I mean, it shouldn't have been like, look, again, I don't mean to be a jerk or anything like that. It's just, look, someone brought up the whole like
your boy.
Yeah, but someone brought up the whole Adam Vinatieri won a bunch of Super Bowls for the Patriots. Cool. I love that, right? The Patriots paid him nothing. In 3 years, he made nearly $3 million. A kicker held out, said, I don't want to play football here anymore. Held out, a kicker.
Yeah.
Wanted to play for another team.
Yeah.
Wanted to go back to the place
team
that
ran him.
Right, to the team that ran him off with pitchforks, wanted to go back there.
Mm-hmm.
And then the 49ers, instead of saying, I don't care, pack your bags, get lost, we'll figure out something else, they rewarded him and extended his contract. And his cap hit is gross. Gross. $8 million cap hit for a player that can't hit 50-yarders. Joey Sly was in here for 2 weeks, went 2 for 2 from 50. Robbie Gould is 4 for 11 from 50 since 2019. And don't give me the whole clutch factor thing when the kick is 24 yards away. Your kicker better be able to make that kick. Average kicks are not worth $8 million. There's my rant, whatever. Not my boy.
Real quick, let's go off topic real quick. Thoughts on Kendrick Bourne's season?
Happy for him, man. Happy for him. I think, well, two things can be true. We're happy for Kendrick Bourne, and we underestimated what he brought to this team. Both things are true. And what I mean by that is, because he never made the splashy, deep, long plays, or because, never those long yard after catch things, I think that this fan base was like, well, we can live without a guy on third down who makes plays on third down, and in the red zone is a threat. And I think that right now you are seeing the fruits of his labor. Again, the guy told you every day that he was working. Like he showed you every day on social media. But I think that 49er fans, two things are true. One, you're happy and we miss him now. But also, two, we underestimated him in terms of what he brought, because he brought stability. Whenever Deebo Samuel was not playing, Kendrick Bourne was the constant. He was durable. Every single time that you needed a big play, it was Kendrick Bourne, man. In that Rams game, everybody gives the Emmanuel Mosley throw the props. Man, on the first third down, he was the one who caught the pass and fell right into the first down. Like, people need to remember that sort of stability, that sort of durability that he brought. And I am happy for him. And also, at the same time, another thing can be true. Unfortunately, we underestimated him and we didn't want to pay him. So I guess, both things are true.
As a fan, or as an analysis, whichever one you want to look at it, what do you think was the better move? Signing Samson Ebukam or not signing, or would be signing Kendrick Bourne?
Hindsight is obviously going to tell you that Kendrick Bourne was probably the move.
Exactly. Hindsight's
obviously going to tell you that Kendrick Bourne is the move. Ebukam is starting to come along now a little bit more.
Yes.
But at the same time, hindsight, look at what Kendrick Bourne is doing. He's getting throws thrown on, put on him. He scored 2 touchdowns last week. Say what you want about Mac Jones. He's putting the ball on him. He's doing a great job over there. I would say, right. Yeah. I mean, all right. We can say that now. We can say that after 2 or 3 games now. We probably weren't saying that in week 3, right? So it's hard. I'm happy for Jennings, because what Jennings is doing right now is putting himself on the field because of, 1, he's actually a pretty good target, and 2, that run blocking ability that I think Kendrick Bourne gets slept on a lot for, and that hard working thing. So, I mean, yeah, you know what? Jennings could be that replacement. That's fine, but we're only getting to that now. Neither Bourne or Sampson, the best thing to do was sign AJ Bourne. Oh! What? Huh? How?
A corner? What's that?
Oh my God. I mean, I wrote articles about why you can't bring this man in, at all. I mean, if we would have had AJ Boye, we wouldn't be talking about Josh Norman.
Why do we need AJ Bouye when we have AJ Bouye at home, aka Josh Norman,
Look, man.
aka Dre Kirkpatrick?
Well, he's not here anymore, thank God. He got trucked into the Shadow Realm. That's for my Yu-Gi-Oh people.
He got mossed. He got trucked. Wearing 13 as a corner. That's my number, but you don't wear that as a corner.
That's a disgusting number.
Yeah, it's just nope. As a wide receiver, it's fresh. Yes. Right. Even Richie James Jr. looked good in it because that's how good it looks as a wide receiver. But as a corner, that's my number.
That's a gross number.
No, you don't wear that as a corner. And that's probably why he had the season he did with the 49ers. Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't know nothing about it.
Shadow Realm.
Learn something new every day. Shadow Realm Yu-Gi-Oh! Now I could reference that. All right. Describe in one word. We'll get to you real quick, Chris. But describe in one word. Deebo Samuel out 1 to 2 weeks.
What's it's not one word.
Okay, you can do multiple words.
Okay.
I want to see you guys comment as well.
Not terrible. Not the worst thing. I think that what we know is that this team can win this game, I think, without Deebo Samuel, right? It's going to be a lot harder. Lucky's the word. There you go. Caesar nailed it. Lucky. Very lucky. 1 to 2 weeks is something that you're fine with at this point. You wouldn't be, exactly, out of the window. But yeah, lucky is the perfect word. I agree. There it is. So, Vader Joe, what's the 4-letter word that starts with F? I love it. No, but lucky, yes. Or thankful, grateful that it's only 1 or 2 weeks. That's it.
Yeah, I was gonna say thankful, I guess, since we're just, not a week away from Thanksgiving yet. Thankful could be the word because, if it's something that was 4 weeks, 5 weeks, season, don't get them back into a potential playoffs, that'll hurt. So this whole 1 to 2 weeks, I think it will probably be 2 if it's a groin. You usually want more than just 1 week for that. I hope I'm wrong. I hope it's just 1 week, but but it's thankful. Thankful it's not worse. Thankful it's not a Dre Greenlaw groin injury where he's got to go on IR. Thankful for that. So he's been the MVP of this team. Need him back on the field as soon as possible. I've seen other people say Brandon Ayuk needs to step up in his departure. Well, Brandon Ayuk already has stepped up. Back-to-back 90-yard receiving games. I wish he would have got me the 100-yard bonus in fantasy, but it is what it is. So he's already stepping up. Just more of a controlled offense without Deebo Samuel. So definitely no turnovers without Deebo Samuel. But it's thankful that it's not nothing more than that. As Noah says, hopeful that it's only 1 to 2 weeks. And nothing more than that. Not a 3 weeks. Not he misses one game and then all of a sudden we're putting him in IR when you could have started that IR process a week earlier. So yeah, hopeful is a good one to say with this injury as well. We have Chris here. Yep. Chris blessing us once again. Thank you, sir. My word for their game against the Vikings is persuasiveness. Perseverance. Jesus Christ. Perseverance. They were getting slapped around and responded with some knuckles themselves.
That's the point. Is a gritty win, not the dance. And that's how games are going to be, especially when the games get tougher as you get into December and you get into January. The opposition gets tougher and it gets colder and who wants it more. And I think that's what they showed. That was as close to a playoff game as you're going to get in the regular season. And the 49ers did what they had to do to win it. It would have been iced if somebody would have made a kick, or if the greatest the punter tackler of all time would have made a tackle. But hey, I'm nitpicking at this point. So I mean, it is what it is. But the 49ers won and they found a way to win. So yeah, let's go. That's it.
Perfect. Love it. You like that?
I love it.
You like that? Okay. I want to ask you for another word. Describe 21 points in 4 minutes. And that's obviously from when it was a 14-7 game. I blinked, used the bathroom, grabbed a beer, 14-28. Describe what that is.
Momentum swing.
Okay.
And it turned the game into more of what the 49ers thought it was going to be. You score before the half. Yes, thank you. Just hit that 4K on YouTube. Big deal. Shout out to Croc. Croc helped me this morning. I joined his morning show. He threw my link in there and people joined. That was really good. But I appreciate everybody who is subscribed and rocking with me, man. For me to start this channel by myself and think that, hey, nobody's ever going to listen, and to be at 4,000 and to have you guys in here weekly. A lot of the names that I see in here are the same names that I see every single time that I go live. It means a lot. I appreciate you guys so much, man. I really do. You'll never know how much that means to me. But in terms of this, it swung the game into a direction that the 49ers thought it was going to be from the beginning. And, you score before the half. People were worried about, well, what's the aggressive nature like going into the half, right? A lot of people have a lot of questions about how Kyle Shanahan deals with that. They score, they get the ball back, they score again, and then my guy Azeez Al-Shaair sits there in coverage and immediately jumps that route in front of Adam Thielen, watches Kirk Cousins' eyes, takes the ball to the 2. I implore you guys to go find that tweet that I posted of the play. Watch how hyped D'Amico Ryans is, man. That was Robert Saleh levels of hypeness, man. He was excited for that man, and you could tell that he really is overjoyed for him because he knows how hard that kid works. We all saw it happening in training camp when we were there, and it continued into the regular season. Azeez Al-Shaair right now is blossoming before your eyes, and I know that we're going to miss Fred Warner in this Seattle game, but I feel a lot better knowing that Azeez Al-Shaair is going to be wearing that green dot, and he's going to be the person that's in the middle, and he's going to make all the right decisions in terms of his run fits, all those things. I wish Fred would be there. I really do. But unfortunately, he's not going to be. But it's Azeez that's going to step in. And when you score right there off of that, it turns that game into pretty much like, okay, this is exactly what we thought it was going to be. And again, good teams respond when their backs to the wall. And that's what the 49ers are going to have to do time and time again. That's not the last time that's going to have to happen. You have to show that you're going to be able to do it. So to be able to do it right there in the biggest game, you're going to have to do it again in the next biggest game, which is probably going to be this week. And you're going to have to do it in every other big game going forward, which is going to be any sort of playoff game that you guys get in. Yes, I am predicting the 49ers to make the playoffs. So what? Sue me. Let's get crazy. But yes, it shows something that you are going to continue going forward. And I think that was the best part of this game for me. And that's what I walked away excited with. Obviously, you're excited with the win, but the way you win and that character of the team, so many injuries, and you continued and you got it done. I really believe that.
The good thing with Azeez is he's a restricted free agent, so the 49ers do have his contract rights. It's not going to be a Kendrick Bourne situation this offseason.
They can match.
But as JC said, y'all smart in the comments. As you saw, we got the donation from Chris, and I stumbled on the word. I'm not so used to these big words out here. I can write them, but I can't read them. You feel me?
49ers fans are the smartest in the game, man. That's it. Yep. We just got to start putting them out there like that.
Yep. I'm gonna say energized. Like you were almost going into the half with just 7 points. You got to a point where you tied it into the half, and boom, you take a 2-touchdown lead against a team that was ahead of you in the playoff race at home, doing what you're supposed to be doing. I saw a stat during the broadcast that the 49ers haven't beat another team that wasn't the Los Angeles Rams at home since like week 8 or so of 2019. So it's been a long time coming for this 49ers team. And so I'm going to say energized. It's not only that you energize yourself in this game, you energize your home field advantage, the momentum, everything was just completely energized within this game once they took that 2-touchdown lead. And ultimately, that's what sealed it for them. Is if they don't get that interception by Azeez, if they don't come out there and get the touchdown before that, it's who knows, who knows basically how this game could have turned out. Essentially, since Robbie Gould missed a kick in the fourth quarter, what if that was the potential game winner that he missed? So it's just energized. It energized his team, got them back. They're able to play their type of football, which is keep defense on the field, keep Minnesota's offense off the field, or excuse me. Yeah.
One thing I wanted to put out there is shout out to Grant Cohn, who retweeted our link to get it out there to his fan base. And Leo, did you know I'm the new Grant Cohn?
How's that?
Someone tweeted.
There's only one Grant Cohn. Come on.
No. There's a new Grant in town. So I tweeted my unpopular opinion about who I believed is the best rookie running back. We don't have to discuss that now, guys. We can talk about that offline. Someone tweeted me and said, Aponte is the new Cone fishing for Twitter drama. Cone is evolved and Aponte is taking his place. So don't refer to me as Grant or Jason Cone. Is Grant Aponte. Let's go, JC. JC knows the vibes. I'm the new Grant. I told Grant. I hit him on Twitter and I was like, there's a new Grant in time. And there's a new Grant in town. Get out of town, bro. You're like, no, I'm not clickbaiting. What it is I have an opinion. And not every time every single 49ers player is better than everyone else. I am going to stick to my guns at this point and say that Javonte Williams is still the best rookie running back right now. I love exactly what Elijah Mitchell is doing. But you know for a fact Javonte's not getting the work. You know that he's behind a good, successful running back. One more thing I want to say, Leo. Elijah Mitchell's the bell cow right now. This is the first time in the Shanahan era that there's ever been a bell cow. And it's not because Shanahan has decided all of a sudden, yeah, I need to switch up my ways and we're just going to a bell cow. It's because injuries, Jeff Wilson is not effective. Jermichael Hasty's injured. Trey Sermon is in the doghouse. It is not out of necessity. Not to discredit Elijah Mitchell in any way, but this is not a philosophy change. So, look, this is just my opinion. I'm not trying to be a clickbaiter, but I still have opinions. And sometimes they don't involve the 49er player being better than someone else. And that's it. And it's not to discredit Javonte Williams. It's not to discredit Elijah Mitchell at all. I just believe that Javonte Williams next year, when Melvin Gordon's gone because he's in his last year of his contract, you are about to see a beast unleashed, man. And that kid is incredible, man. And that's no slight at Elijah Mitchell because what he's doing is incredible. One more thing. Because people say, oh, well, you've shown that Elijah Mitchell can handle the load. Guess what? Elijah Mitchell's been injured twice. Can he? Can he handle the load? He's been injured twice, and he's missed games 2 times because of injuries. Can he? It's not because Kyle Shanahan wants to. It's because Kyle Shanahan needs to. But at the same time, Elijah Mitchell is doing things incredible. He's doing incredible things, and every week I highlight his stats. I highlight his stats and I show you against 8-man boxes what he's doing. I show you every week. I am not hating at all. But come on, man. Javonte Williams has the most broken tackles in the game. He has 20 less touches than Elijah Mitchell. He has 20 more broken tackles than Elijah Mitchell. Tell me that doesn't correlate with the fact that he's not getting touches. And don't tell me that Javonte Williams can't handle the load. He's a giant man. He's a giant man. Come on, man. That's it. I just have an opinion. That's all. It's just my opinion. I'm not clickbaiting. I watch everybody. I watch football.
Look, you're a 49ers content creator, all right? You cannot say something positive. Jasante. You cannot say something positive about
going to the Senior Bowl was the worst thing. The worst thing I could have ever done, man. Because he was there, Michael Carter was there, and I'm like, oh my god, look at all these great players, and that was the worst thing that ever happened to me.
Yes. I almost called him Jasante. Javonte Williams does have 20 more broken tackles and 26 less carries than Elijah Mitchell. Yes, I get that. I understand he has a 10+ yard carry at every 5.8 touches compared to Elijah Mitchell's 6.2 touches. I get that. But at the end of the day, you're wrong because Javonte Williams is not wearing red and gold. He is not a 49er, and Elijah Mitchell is. So you're wrong. You're wrong.
It's not from. But no, hold on. But I don't care. But hold up. I was told today
red and gold. I don't care.
But Leo, I was told today that as a fan, I have power, right? And we bullied Kyle Shanahan into not taking Mac Jones. I implored Kyle Shanahan because I knew he was going to take running backs in this draft. I implored him to make sure he got Javonte Williams. You know what he did? He allowed Denver to trade up in front of him and get Javonte Williams. And you took Trey Sermon. You could have had Javonte Williams. So I tried. I tried my best. Why doesn't anybody ever listen to me? Goodness gracious.
Why?
Don't pay kickers and draft the damn running backs I tell you to draft when I know you're going to draft them. What the hell? And draft Terry McLaurin over Jalen Hurd. Christ, man. Why don't you listen to me?
We're going there again.
Yes. We're never going to let it go. We're never going to let it go. I watched Terry McLaurin make a bunch of catches yesterday. I was crying. I was crying in the corner.
So now I got to come. We called you Jasante, and now we're going to have to call you Scary Jace Terry. I don't know.
No. Let's see. Terry. A Lauren? That's probably the best one I could come up with. That's it. Yeah, but I understand that where you drafted him, right? Mitchell was drafted in the 6th round, but you wasted a pick on Trey Sermon. And if you were going to waste that pick on Trey Sermon, imagine the bell cow that you could have right now with that lightning, which is Mitchell, both of them at this point. It's a miss on Trey Sermon when you allow Denver to trade up in front of you and get Javonte. Come on.
2-5, buddy. 2-5.
I get it. He's doing great. Goodness gracious, man. But you drafted Trey Sermon. You could have had Javonte Williams. You drafted Jalen Hurd. You could have had Terry McLaurin.
Why have Javonte when you have Elijah Mitchell?
I mean, that's fine. Christ. Whatever. I didn't want to talk about that. Let's keep going. Let's keep going with the show. McKinnon got put on injured reserve today, and another thug tear went down my eye today, man. He got put on injured reserve with a hamstring.
You poured one out on the way to the bodega, huh?
I mean, I did. When I went to the liquor store, I was like, damn, my QB1, he's down, man. Best quarterback in Kansas City. Don't at me.
Oh, jeez. Might as well be, since you said people are dropping Mahomes in fantasy.
People drop Mahomes. Someone just dropped Patrick Mahomes in my home fantasy league. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I guess they're just done with it.
Jesus Christ.
I'm going to spend my entire fab trying to go get him right now.
I don't get it. Hey, since we should just jump on this. In one word, describe Elijah Mitchell versus the Vikings.
Evolving. Here's what I mean by that. A lot of people put Elijah Mitchell in a box in terms of what he can do running the ball. Oh, he's only an outside zone guy. Oh, he's only a big play guy. Gritty yards after getting hit in between the tackles. The Rams game was really when I realized, okay, this kid is evolving into something different. And what I mean by that is you saw him against the Bears. They ran outside zone, and they went and they were gashing them. 21 for 97 doesn't really jump out at you against the Rams. But all of those runs were in between the tackle. They didn't run outside zone once. Whatever Kyle Shanahan needs for him to do, he's going to do. And it's just impressive to see his evolution and for him to be exactly whatever the 49ers need, whatever.
Yeah. Sean, you are too smart, buddy.
Whatever the 49ers need at any time. And yes, man, I mean, I think it's just impressive, man. I am super excited for him right now, man. And I think that the 49ers have nailed it, especially when you consider where they drafted him. In the 3rd round, you could have taken somebody else at this point because it seems like Trey Sermon, now he has an injury. You weren't intent on using him at all, even though you kind of came out in training camp and tried to show us something a little bit different, which I was there for, which is what's more disappointing about. But Elijah Mitchell has been incredible, man. And where would this team be without him right now? And he's missed a bunch of games. Where would they be without him right now?
So this is a name I remember in the comments because he was capping for Mac Jones at the time. Brian Hammond's here, Patriots fan. I don't know if it's a real person or just a fake account, but Patriots.
Stevenson, the best rookie running back? Oh, my goodness gracious. Javonte Williams is better than Ramondre Stevenson. So is Najee Harris. Goodness gracious. What are we talking about here, bro?
I'm going to say this for Elijah Mitchell versus the Vikings in one word. Expected. The Vikings were giving up 4.8 yards per carry on the ground. Obviously, they can't give up a yards per carry on the air. I don't know why I said on the ground. They were giving up 4.8 yards per carry. Elijah Mitchell finished the game at 4.9. So, what I've seen from Elijah Mitchell this season, it was expected for him to get what Minnesota's been giving up all season long. So, while I love it, it's impressive. You know, he is a rookie. So, yes, that's impressive. He is a rookie. But to me, it was expected because he hasn't been playing at a rookie level. He's been playing a little elevated past that. That's why he became the workhorse. Not Jeff Williams. Jesus. You have me thinking about Javonte so much now. Not Jeff Wilson, which I was never such a fan of. Not Trey Sermon. You know, that there may be something other than just play on top of that situation. JaMychal Hasty can't stay healthy. They didn't bring in another guy because Elijah Mitchell's not getting it. No, he's not playing like a rookie at this point. It's rare for a rookie to, have this type of workload that was drafted where he was. So 27 carries, over $130. It was expected against his Vikings defense. I said get Elijah Mitchell 20 carries, they're winning. They're 2-0 in that. That's a Jesse Rodriguez stat. Shout out him. They're 2-0 when Elijah Mitchell gets 20 plus carries. And so the fact that he averaged what the Vikings are giving up, to me, it was expected.
I think that's the part that is lost with the Elijah Mitchell thing is, one, yes, he's playing very well, but two, it's out of necessity. Look, I actually think the world of Jeff Wilson. I think that he's actually very solid. When he's been pressing the duty, he's been good. Unfortunately, off the injury, he's just not playing well. He's not playing well. He's not playing well right now. And if Kyle Shanahan had more confidence in him, he wouldn't have been giving Deebo Samuel 8 to 10 carries in these games as well, too. Now, going into the Seattle game, you don't have that luxury, right? And Jeff Wilson, he better either step it up or something, but they're going to have to lean on Elijah Mitchell much more. So I will give him credit for that in a way, right? Like, I will. But again, this wasn't just a philosophy change over to like, okay, this guy's just killing it. Like, if Raheem Mostert was here, we wouldn't even know like Elijah Mitchell that much unless it's on third down or anything like that. Out of necessity, he's had to go to him, and he's responded. So that's not a slight at him in any way. They put more on his plate, and he's played well. That's it. So, yeah. There's no wrong answer. Again, that's just my opinion. That's all. I'm not an end-all, be-all, or know-it-all, and I don't want to come off that way. It's just my opinion. I think that next year you'll see when Javonte gets that load and you move Melvin Gordon away, which, I'll blame the Broncos for paying a running back, which was ridiculous and stupid in that way. But you're also paying him. You can't just bench him. And also the fact that Melvin Gordon's actually playing well this year, unfortunately. So, Javonte's going to get it next year, and you guys will see.
Look at that tiny Joe Staley uniform.
What you mean? I'm as slim as Joe. I'm as slim as Joe, Croc. Me and Joe.
Too. Yeah. You're 7'2".
Yeah, me and Joe on the same diet, dog. That's the same shit, man. We bought I got this one this is a game worn jersey. What you mean, bro?
All right, Jesse. If you're gonna start talking about Kittle running the ball, to me, that's not what I want to see. But if you're gonna throw that out there, I need for you to at least drop the 49ers record when George Kittle has at least one carry. You need to drop that. All right. Come on. Get on it. That's all you. That's up your valley. Let's talk a little defense now, huh?
Uh-huh. Oh, I'm glad Croc's here for this.
Yes, Croc. If you want to join, let me know. Hufanga playing single high. And I'm asking for one word on that because some of you will say that he had the PBU at the end of the game in the end zone on 3rd and goal. To me, it was a drop reception by Conklin because I didn't see Hufanga's hand get either.
I didn't say
Conklin
Joe Williams was better than Elijah Mitchell. I said Javonte was better. Joe Williams don't even play football anymore, Croc. Not Joe Williams, Javonte.
Hey,
Javonte.
Hey, I was on board with Chris Collinsworth. Not Collinsworth. It was
Chris Sims.
No, Coward.
What?
When he said Joe Williams was the steal of the draft that year, I thought the same because he was just lining it up at Utah.
Kyle loved Joe Williams. That's not my thing, man. Not Joe Williams, Croc. Come on. It's Javonte Williams, not Joe Williams. Who the hell is Joe Williams? He never took a snap.
Yeah. So basically, what's your thoughts on Hufanga playing, single high, or one word to describe that? Because he did give up the touchdown to Adam Thielen where, yes, it looked like Thielen altered his route to go up the seam and Hufanga just basically just left him completely. And so like, one word for that. I know Croc got you laughing up in here.
Don't freeze up now. I love it. Learning. And again, you'll take those bumps and bruises with a rookie, right? And he has to learn. He has to learn the speed. For a guy who plays with instinct, you can't rely on speed. So you have to understand route concepts. It's all just part of the process for him. So what I'll say is learning. Yes, he gave up the touchdown to Thielen, but he's learning. That's it. He's learning, and these are all lessons that hopefully. Arizona, he got tested a little bit deep. It happened, whatever. Same thing here. You're learning. Don't float too far. Make sure you understand the route concepts, and that's all going to come with reps. So he's learning. That's it. That's the best way I could put it. And Joe Williams from Utah, Croc is just this is Croc right now in the comments. This is Croc in real life, man. He's an instigator, and he's somebody who likes to get it going, and he'll keep poking you until you get upset. Like I noticed that about him when I was hanging around him for a little bit, like when I got to see him in person. But he's learning. That's it, and you'll take that as long as you know that he's learning, and I think that's really what it's about.
See, like I'm fine with the player learning, and we want to develop these guys. Obviously, Tart's on a contract year. The team was under 500 at a certain point. Tart was on IR as well. So I get that. You want to keep guys learning, but if you want to do that and put Hufanga at single high, why is Diamador Lenore not in there during certain situations over Josh Norman? Josh Norman's on a 1 year deal. It's not like he's here next year. He's not part of the future. So I would just like to see more players treated the same way in that type of thing. Hufanga, yes, learning. I like Hufanga. I hope he ends up a stud. I hope he ends up a Pro Bowler. It just remains to be seen. But yes, he's learning. But at this point, I want to see Tart or Jimmy Ward playing high safety. I don't want to see Hufanga in there because the examples we've gotten hasn't really worked out as a high safety. Playing single high, I should say better than saying high safety. Is he better around the goal line? Yes. If you shrink the field for Hufanga, he could play some really good football. But as a single high, I just don't think that's his role for him right now. And in this playoff push where you could still potentially win the division, that's not out the door. Let Tart and Jimmy Ward take on that role. That's where I'm at with this. So still learning, but I don't want to see it if Tart and Jimmy Ward are healthy.
Right. And I think that the three safety thing is something that you saw in Jacksonville, right? And the best example I can give is the play that he made on Trevor Lawrence, right? It's keep him closer to the line of scrimmage and allow him to get downhill and make tackles and play on instinct. And there's nothing wrong with that at this point. While you groom him, while he learns, while he watches on film what teams are going to try to do, that's great. But also put him in positions to win. Put him in positions to build that confidence, and that's where he'll be. And I expect to see a lot of Hufanga this week, actually, in terms of where obviously they're going to be missing linebackers in this game. Doesn't look like Dre Greenlaw is going to play. Doesn't look like Fred Warner is going to play. Marcel Harris is actually going through concussion protocol at this point. I expect to see Hufanga closer to the line, maybe playing a little bit of will linebacker. There you go. And look, for a guy, when you put him in position and you tell him when to go, he plays like his hair is on fire. That's fine. He needs to play on instinct. Don't let the kid think right now, because that's not where his job is right now at this point, or that's not good at. Again, we want to talk about DK Metcalf real quick. Everybody talks about 3-cone, drills. Well, don't make him run those routes. Make him run different routes and put him in a position to win while he learns those things. Same thing goes for Hufanga. You don't make guys work on things during the game. You work on that in practice. You work on that in the film room, and you put them in positions to be successful. And I think that's what's going to happen with Hufanga. Again, educational, learning, all that stuff. You can live with the bumps and bruises as long as he's learning. That's it. That's the best I could put it.
Exactly, and I guess I should rephrase a little bit. I'm not saying I don't want to see Hufanga on the field. Yes, I want to see Hufanga on the field. He's developing. He's learning. Game rep experience. I preach the same thing for Lenore. Why would I not preach that for Hufanga? I'm just saying strictly at single high. I'm not really a fan seeing him play single high. Leave that for Tart or leave that for Jimmy Ward, because they've proven they can handle the single high role. And what I've seen from Hufanga at the single high role, let's keep him closer to the line of scrimmage. Let's keep him closer to attacking downhill and not trying to be the last man of defense in coverage.
And next year,
but yes, I want to see him on the field. Yes,
and next year when he becomes a starting strong safety, because that's what it is. I don't expect Jaquiski Tart to be here next year. That's fine, but right now, put him in positions to win and go for it. That's it.
And appreciate you once again, Chris, for that. Aziz, talk to me about Aziz in one word. Describe whether it's been his play this season, whether it's this past game against the Vikings. One word.
Grinding, working, whatever word you want to use. I know JC is going to take that and use that as the Michael Myers of TikTok.
Sean will get a more educated word for us here in the comments.
No, it's just this kid is putting in the work. The fruits of his labor are showing. I talked about it earlier. He's amazing, man. And what you saw in training camp is translating onto the field. He's playing with instinct. He's a thumper, and his coverage skills are getting better. And that's the thing that everybody went to when they were talked about they wanted Greenlaw on the field, and which why I pushed back on is like, you can't take the guy right off the field right now, man. You really can't. And his tackles for losses, he gets the interception. Obviously the Arizona game is a game that everybody points to and they say, hey, well, he played badly. The Arizona game, everybody played badly in that game. And there were
Yeah.
not many people, no Ward, no Tart. A lot of people were missing in that game. And let's just give credit to Arizona. They kicked our ass in that game, and they tactically worked the 49ers. So Aziz stepping up, man. That's the best way to put it. And getting better. I'm really happy for the kid because you saw him working in training camp, and it's translated right away, man. He's been so good.
Yeah, I remember in training camp that I was there with you with the joint practice with the Chargers.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There was a run play by the Chargers, and then we were like, "Who the hell made that tackle?" It was on the right tackle side. I rewind the video, and it's Aziz from the opposite side of the field beating Greenlaw and Warner to the ball and meeting the running back at the line of scrimmage. And I was like, okay, because Jason, you and Jordan Elliott have been saying how good, as well as Brad Graham from the SF Niners, been saying how good Aziz looked in camp. And then seeing him there at the Chargers joint practice, it was just a different level. He looked ready. He looked more ready than he ever has been. So, yes, I'm going to say with Aziz, one word, I'm going to say Will. And as in Will linebacker. Keep him there. Don't move him. Don't put him to Sam.
He's
Keep
going
him
to have
there.
to be Mike, though, this week.
And, okay, that's fine. Yeah, starting linebacker. I guess that's not really one word to describe him, but starting. I want to see him starting. I don't want to see him going to Sam. I either keep him at Mike while Fred's not there, and then put him at Will when Fred is there. I don't want to see him off the field in favor of Dre Greenlaw because I think he's earned that right at this point. And I hate to bring up 2019, but it just reminds me of that situation where Quan Alexander was out for injury and Dre Greenlaw was playing well. And then it was like, do we put Dre Greenlaw at Sam now, or do we keep him at Will? But because of the injury, they kept Greenlaw at Will, kept Quan at Sam to limit his reps. This groin injury seems serious for Greenlaw, so maybe they should probably do the same thing at this point. There was a comment in here that I wanted to get to. I think it was Jesse gave us the update on the George Kittle rushing stats since Debo's not going to be playing. So far, the 49ers are 0-1 when George Kittle has a rush attempt. He carried the ball one time for 9 yards versus Green Bay. So, yeah, no carries for George Kittle. They're 0-1. Let's not worry about flipping that. No carries for George Kittle. Thank you, Jesse, stat guru, better than ESPN.
Working on work. Oh my goodness, man! This advanced analytics department, man. I mean, where else are you going to get numbers like this? I promise you're not.
Should they drop Mr. Peanut Punch? See, that's the only value that Norman provides at this point is that peanut punch, just safety stuff.
I mean, that just means that you're putting up with the blown assignments, going rogue, interceptions, exactly. The holding calls, because he held Justin Jefferson and got baked somehow. How do you hold a guy and still get beat badly? I think you put up with all of that because it is an opportunistic league. And I talked about this on the last episode, and I'll reiterate it again for anybody who, Rich Madrid hates me as well too, Christian. So don't feel bad, man. I will say this. I'll reiterate this. Trevon Diggs, everybody loves the interceptions, right? Taking the ball away, opportunistic, big plays. He gives up yards, a lot of them, and he gives up penalty yards. But let's just say, all right, let me give you a scenario. He gives up a pass interference at the 1, right? And they're there. But Trevon Diggs, when you throw at him again, he intercepts it and he takes it to the crib for a touchdown. Would you sacrifice one for the other? And I think that's what the 49ers are in a bind with right now, because he does have that peanut punch. It is working, but I'm just afraid when it comes to Josh Norman that he won't be able to peanut punch something during the game, and he'll just be getting roasted and roasted and roasted and roasted, and there's nothing you can do about it, and it's going to rear its ugly head at the wrong time. That's my fear, but that's just me being paranoid.
I get it. Let's go ahead and answer this one. Do you think the plan was to have 3 linebackers this season, but have to adjust the entire defense?
Yeah, I mean, that's what you saw this week. When Dre Greenlaw was out there, it was K1 had to come off the field. And that's fine because Dre Greenlaw converted safety. You can kind of mask that, especially in his own coverages, and you know that Dre is good in man coverage. So it seemed like the philosophy was changing back to that, and it felt like this coaching staff feels like we do, that you can't get Azeez Al-Shaair off this field right now. You just can't, and you have to adjust everything right now because of how he's playing. And if that means taking K'Wan Williams off the field, it just means that, and that's it. And he would be a specialty guy at this point. But I don't know if that was a plan going into the season. But when Dre Greenlaw was healthy for part of this game, it looked like they came out and straight up three linebackers, and I think that is more telling than anything.
Yeah, I didn't even mention the glute punch to Adam Thielen. I saw that on afterwards. I didn't see that during the live game. Let's get to the next one here. Let's. I want to hear more words from all of you guys. More words. 0 touchdowns allowed by Emmanuel Moseley this season.
Slept on. Slept on is not one word unless you hyphenate it, which I'm doing right now so to make it one word. Slept on. When people are worried about the secondary, nobody ever mentions the fact that Emmanuel Moseley has been nothing short of solid this entire year, especially considering Jason Verrett hasn't been in there. And I was on Croc Show earlier today, and I talked about that. The fact that nobody mentions Emmanuel Moseley is a good thing. It's a very good thing. It's usually good for linemen, but it's very good for him. He is doing a great job. There's never been a time where you're like, what is Emmanuel Moseley doing? And that is the point. He's been slept on, underrated. That's another word, but slept on is what I'm going to use, hyphenated to make it one word. But Emmanuel Moseley has been a godsend to this secondary this season. And that was a challenge this past week. Jefferson and Thielen, that's a challenge. There are very few teams that have two great receivers like that. And Emmanuel Moseley was great, man. I think that he is slept on completely. And I think that he needs more credit for what he's been doing because everybody seems to be attacking Josh Norman as opposed to him. And who would have thought that you would be looking at the veteran who has a more checkered past as opposed to the guy who was an undrafted free agent and they've gotten so much out of with Moseley.
Key contributors that have been undrafted free agents. We just talked about Azeez, Emmanuel Moseley, Kevin Givens had a forced fumble. Like this team, I think we take the undrafted class, like we just take at it and look at it under a microscope. Like, who's the next guy? Who's the next Kendrick Bourne? Who's the next Emmanuel Moseley? Who's the next Jeff Wilson? Who's the next Matt Pitta? Because I haven't noticed another team in this league that has churned undrafted free agents the way the 49ers have in the Kyle Shanahan era. It's insane. It's insane. So definitely that whole scouting department, shout out to them. But, I like this one by BV50. Clutch. Jason Verrett went down. When he went down, you needed that other corner to step up badly, and Moseley has done that. So if he doesn't play the way he has so far, like, where would this team be at? Well, honestly, he's not getting challenged as much anymore. You're seeing it less and less every single game with the targets going. He's just been playing at a phenomenal level. And 11 games into the season, if I said Emmanuel Moseley had 0 touchdowns through 11 games before the season started, I probably would have been like, no, he gives up at least one. I would have told myself
Colts
that.
Game.
He gives up at least one.
The Colts game, he had a pass interference in the end zone. That's the only real thing I can think of. Anything other than that, he's been amazing in considering what's been thrown at him. So, that's the only thing I can think of.
Important. So, it's definitely what this team needed. Who knows if they're not 6-5 without Emmanuel Moseley? We'll see. But it's been huge for this team to have the play of Emmanuel Moseley, no touchdowns given up, considering how many pass interference you have. Like you said, the Colts game had the PI in the end zone. I thought it was a PI. I saw some saying that they didn't think it was a PI. Whatever it is, he's doing that a whole lot less than the other side of the corner position with the passer interference. So, shout out to E-Man. I just wanted to give him some love quickly.
Oh yeah,
one word. Seahawks week. One word.
Fatality. Finish it. Finish it. Finish the job. Finish it. Show no mercy. Sweep the leg. All of those cliches. This is it. This is it. Everything that has been pent up for 49er fans that we kind of let out in 2019 after you get that stop by Dre Greenlaw, all of that can be this moment right here. This can be the end of an era. End it. End it. And leave no doubt. Leave no doubt in this game. Don't let it be one of those games where last night was the perfect example of why you cannot leave the Seattle Seahawks to hang around, right? 2 minutes left in that game. Russell Wilson gets the ball. Every single person that was watching that game was like, ah, shit. Here we go. And guess what? What happened? If he sees DK Metcalf for that 2-pointer, that game's tied. And guess what? They win that game. They even almost got the onside kick. This is it. Finish the job. Fatality. Cut the head off. Hold it up. Kick him down the well. Whatever you want. End the era. End it. This is poetic justice that the 49ers could be the team that finishes this. This is it. The moment is in front of you. Finish the job. Finish it.
Oh, this is a great one by Vader Joe.
Let Russ cook.
Fatal. I want to see a fatality. Like, it's done. It's over. Wrap it up like if it's Christmas since it's around the corner. I need to see this 49ers team just cut the chicken's head off. Cut the chicken's head off. Cook it. Put it on rotisserie. Whatever it is. We want to eat that Russ. Oh, don't take that the wrong way. But it's done. It's done. End it. There's no better team to go ahead and end the Russell Wilson era. You win this game, they're done. They're 3-9. There's no way to come back for it. Russ is not staying. The O-line is trash. He looks like he has DK Metcalf being a diva now. So, that's going to get on.
DK Metcalf was calling for Geno Smith. This is how far gone it is. Geno Smith, he was pointing at Geno Smith like, I want Geno Smith in the game. This is how far gone it is right now for them. You have to finish the job. Finish it. Embarrass. I love it.
Yes. You need to deep fry that bird, whatever it is. Russ out here cooking top ramen like he's in prison. I don't care. They need to finish the job. So I'm going to go with fatal. Just end it. What's the biggest thing you want to see from this game? Like, obviously, besides the win, if there was one thing out there that does not equate to win-loss column, what's something you want to see this game?
Continue what you've been doing. Impose your will. There's something to the whole aspect. Okay, I understand. A defense is on the field and the physical aspect, they're tired, but it's the mental aspect. And I've been saying this on a few podcasts, and I'm going to reiterate it here. It's like Madden. You're playing Madden against your little brother, and you're telling him, I'm going to run the ball to the right side. Come stop me. Or I'm going to run this play. Come stop me. And you continue, and you continue. And that person throws the controller, and they go run to mom. That's what you need to do. Continue to do that. Impose your will. Tell them that you're not going to stop us. It doesn't matter at this point. I don't care how many people they're down. How many times have the 49ers walked into games missing people, and that has never stopped them from winning a game or celebrating after that or anything like that? No. Impose your will. Show that you're the team that you've been on this trajectory, right? That has been this week doing what they've been doing to, it doesn't matter, the Rams, the Jaguars, the Vikings. Now do it to the Seahawks. Continue to do it because this team looks like they're on the brink of breaking right now. And another win like this, one more win like this will literally end this era and end their season. And it would be nothing sweeter for 49er fans than to finish this job. And this is the biggest game of the season right now for me, as after coming off the biggest game of the season for the Vikings. If that was a playoff game, this is a playoff game. Finish the job. Impose your will. Show them you're done with the whole House of Horrors in Seattle. Finish the job. Cut their head off. Fatality. Finish them. That's it.
You know what also annoys the hell out of me with Seattle is the 2014 NFC Championship game, where if you didn't live in the Seattle greater area, you were not allowed to purchase tickets online.
Damn.
Yes. So they're scared. when it comes against the wall, this is a scared franchise. And I wouldn't be surprised if they try to pull out some BS like that this weekend because they don't want 49er fans in there. They know they travel. You've traveled to a few games this year
I have.
already.
And
So
49er fans travel better than everybody.
Yes.
Me and Croc, we went into Philly and we walked out unscathed. And Croc was talking big shit. Oh, man, I was scared to death, man. This man was pointing at Eagles fans and did not care.
50 rushes for 300 yards. Woo. I would take that in a heartbeat. 50 rushes for 300 yards. What would a win like this mean to beat a Seattle team without Deebo Samuel? Like, what would that mean for this team?
This is the litmus test, and it always is. Even in 2019, right? The 49ers had done everything that they had done, and they still had to prove to everybody that they were done with the House of Horrors in Seattle. This is always going to be the test for not only 49er fans, the national media, everybody around them. If the 49ers go in there and they win this game, then they start to feel low-key invincible. You knock the boogeyman out, you punch him right in your face, and that's it. Now, after this, who are you afraid of? Whose house you're afraid to go into, right? You're not afraid to go in Lambeau anymore. You're not afraid to go to Dallas. You're not afraid to go to Tampa Bay at this point. It's always been Seattle. That's always been the boogeyman under the bed, in the closet. It's always been Michael Myers. When you think he's dead, he pops through the door and he kills somebody else at the end of the movie. That is what Seattle is, and that is what the litmus test for the 49ers has always been. Finish the job, and no one else can say anything bad about you, and this team will springboard, especially knowing that you did it without Fred Warner and Deebo Samuel. This would literally put this team on a trajectory where, dare I say, you start to feel like nobody else in this regular season is going to beat us. Not the Titans, not the Texans, not the Falcons, nobody at this point. And not the Rams in Week 18. You are about to run the table, and then you start to become that team that the 49ers need to be, which is that team that nobody wants to play in the NFC. Nobody wants to see, no matter where they're seated. That's the point.
So Chris, he's going to be out there for this game. And as Perk would say here in the comments, rep that shit while you're out there in Seattle. Let's go ahead and do that. Cut the chicken's head off. And you get past this game, the only one that I would be concerned with on the schedule.
Bengals,
that's it. Titans can't really find their identity. They're not the same team without Derrick Henry. Julio Jones is gone. Is A.J. Brown eligible for that game to come back?
Yeah, he might not be, though. So he might be eligible to play, but that doesn't mean he's going to be on there. And with the Bengals...
And it's a Thursday game.
Yeah, it is. And with the Bengals lost to the Jets. The Bengals got cooked by the Browns. I know that's a divisional game, but those, like I know they're not unbeatable. That's a team that should worry you. The reason that they worry me, the Bengals, and I don't want to look too far ahead, that receiving corps. That's three the hard way right there. Chase, Boyd, and Higgins. That's three the hard way right there. Like, that's going to be hard to cover. But at that point, man, I mean, I'm not necessarily afraid of the Bengals. I'm not afraid of them. I'm nervous of the matchups they present. That's it.
You see Bobby Wagner last night. Dude is checked out, getting run on by Washington, 200 yards, no pass rush, two safeties running around like sea chickens, run for 300 yards, and every down. That's what you got to do at this point. Just run the hell out of the ball. Get some other guys mixed in with Elijah Mitchell. So it's not, 27 carries, 30. You can't give a Mitchell 35 carries. You're just not going to do that in a single game. But I want to see this team get to 40 carries. You're going to have that absence from Deebo Samuel. He did have 6 carries and 8 carries the game before that. So you got to figure out where that void's going to be. Maybe, Kyle Shanahan's creative. You know more than anyone, Jason. Get Brandon Ayuk maybe involved at the line of scrimmage or behind the line of scrimmage. I know last game he had 3 catches that all went for 20+ yards.
But the thing is with them, like right now, I don't want to say this, and I want to say this in the right way, which it doesn't come off callous or dismissive, because I've been telling people that Deebo Samuel needs to be discussed in the MVP talks. But Brandon Ayuk is ascending at the right time. This is his moment right now. This is the perfect moment for him right now. If this game would have happened a few weeks ago when Brandon Ayuk wasn't as involved or wasn't showing the flashes, you wouldn't feel as good, right? Now it's a little bit different right now. The way Brandon Ayuk looks, he looks like that guy that we saw last year that was seeing number 1 corners and was baking whoever was in front of him and was confident. And I think that that's the thing that should instill confidence into the 49ers, is that Deebo Samuel, there's no right time for you to be injured. There's never any right time for you to be injured, ever. But if there was ever a time for you to be injured, it would be right now with the way that Brandon Ayuk is playing. And that's what has me feeling a little bit better about this game.
So what no one's talking about right now, it's with Deebo Samuel gone and 2 receiver sets, it sounds like Juwan Jennings is going to get that role. This is what I mean by no one's talking about it. Do you think the Seattle corners want to face Juwan Jennings in a run blocking situation?
No. And Matt Barrows.
Real quick,
And
Seattle's
Matt Barrows,
corners. Seattle's corners? No, man, I don't want to do that.
No, man, I don't want to tackle him, man. I don't want to block him, man. No, Matt Barrows came out actually and talked about how Jennings is wide receiver 2. And I know that Trent Sherfield got a lot of buzz in training camp, but it's absolutely should be Juwan Jennings at this point, based on not only the fact that he's a big target. That was probably one of Jimmy's best throws of that game that ended up incomplete. But when you look at the run blocking ability, he's going to have to be on the field in 2 wide receiver sets. No, man, I don't want to do that. No, man. But in terms of run blocking, I think that that's what's earned Juwan Jennings a lot more. And I think that that is what's going to put him on the field on top of being a guy in the red zone that they can throw the ball to. Again, Jimmy G's best throw of the day might have been an incomplete pass, the throw to him in the end zone that he didn't get the shin down in time for. So I think that Juwan Jennings is playing well, and he has earned the trust. More than playing well, we all know you need to get into that Kyle Shanahan circle of trust, and he's watching you. Once you're in, you have to stay in, and once you leave, you don't get back in. And That's a Meet the Parents reference.
Pause.
No. Meet the Parents. Meet the Parents. Robert De Niro, stop it.
Pause.
Grow up, man. Grow up, man.
No, man, I don't want to do that.
I don't want to do that,
forever, man. Well, something we saw in the preseason that we haven't really seen in the regular season is Juwan Jennings total screens. He did that in the preseason. Each time it went for a first down. Maybe that's another way to where you could fill the void of Deebo Samuel not being on the field. Obviously, preseason's not the regular season for the elephant in the room, but it's something we got a glimpse of. And what Juwan Jennings is showing, so far over these past few weeks, maybe that's something that's able to come in fruition. Oh, no, man.
I hate to burst the bubble, but Devin Funchess got hurt being on the practice squad, and he's on the injured list. Talk about useless signing. Hi, John Brown. Are you busy? Is there anything that you're doing right now? Are you busy this weekend? Anything you feel like doing this weekend, like playing football? Can you come play for the 49ers? Can you stop with this crap with Devin Funchess? Jesus.
Thanks, Brian. Appreciate it. Appreciate
I
that.
I have nipples. Can you milk me? We're off the rails in this episode, man. This is like you were worried that we were going to be able to fill time. We're already at 1:15.
Hey, man, the comments is lit right now. So,
they are.
This is something I didn't think of. So shout out Sean on this one. Maybe getting Trey Lance involved. Now, I don't want to see just a straight, QB power, just straight QB draw, whatever.
Goal line.
I want to see something mixed in with Trey Lance, maybe an RPO action or something.
It's so strange, dude. It's so strange. Here's my thing, man. Week 3, home opener, Green Bay Packers, offense is stalling. Right before the half, 4th and goal, have to have it. Trey Lance is on the field, 1 yard. You can dial that up. Use it. Yeah. When you need to win this game, use it. If you're on a 4th and 1, don't take the field goal like you are in Jacksonville. Where's that? Make Trent Williams go and block a cornerback. Where's that? Go do it.
Well, I feel like the difference between Seattle and Jacksonville, obviously, everybody knows this. You know this. It's you're playing against Russell Wilson, not Trevor Lawrence. You have a history of Russell Wilson doing the wrong thing on the wrong side of things against Russell Wilson.
From 99 yards out?
Russell Wilson can make a 99-yard drive.
But if you can't stop a 99-yard drive, you have problems. But what I'm saying also, if you can't get 1 yard, you have bigger problems.
But I'm also saying it's against Russell Wilson, you need to go for it because you need touchdowns, not field goals. Because the last thing you need, for me as a San Francisco Giants fan, I've seen way too many times where Nolan Arenado or Paul Goldschmidt is in a complete slump, come to Oracle Park, hit 2 home runs in 3 games, have like 5 RBIs. That's what happens when you're familiar with someone. So with Russell Wilson, you just got to step on his throat and not let him get hot. Don't let him get
but field
hot.
goals aren't going to kill him though.
Exactly. That's why I say you go for it. It's not Jacksonville. Jacksonville, you could kick the field goal and be perfectly fine. That's the freaking Jaguars. Ain't nobody concerned about the Jaguars. With Russell Wilson, you're not necessarily concerned with the Seahawks, but it's just you have a history against Russell Wilson. You have a history. No matter how he looked last week, you have that history. So you're going to, you got to get those touchdowns instead of field goals. That's the difference here in this one.
Yeah, and that's my thing is you take that chance right there because you need.
Okay, Ndamukong Suh.
Oh man,
maybe if he was on the team.
I would love to sit around for a little bit, but I know for a fact that I have to give Avery a bath pretty soon, and I feel
you should do that.
She's gonna break through the wall. She's gonna break through the wall like the Kool-Aid Man. Oh yeah, soon, real soon. I have a feeling that it's coming. But no, this is a lot of fun. This was the best one of these, and obviously we're gonna do this weekly and everything. But yeah, man.
Tuesday.
An hour 15, man. This is really good. And if we sound excited, if we sound like we're over the top, not in our analyst bag, it's because we remember what Arizona felt like after that game, where the mood was, and to be able to be playing meaningful football in December, yeah, whatever, man. To be playing meaningful football in December is something that has us and this fan base excited. Also, with the idea that this team is on the preface of being able to end an era in their stadium, not in Levi's, not in Glendale, Arizona, in Levi's, end their season. This is exciting. And this is what I tried to preach on the End of Sprint Right option. And, Leo, you can give some thoughts right after this too. But I want to say this. We only get a certain amount of weeks of football. And right now, to be able to be saying that we're playing meaningful games right now, yes, we, is something that you should be excited about, because you're going to be complaining all offseason that there's no footballs on Sundays or anything like that. So no matter what happens, you only get 18 weeks. Enjoy the ride and be happy that this team is in the position that they're in with what they have. This is going to be a fun-ass week and a fun-ass game. Unless the 49ers lose, then it won't be fun. But a fun-ass game and a fun-ass week. But just enjoy the ride, man. That's it. Don't spend the week quabbling about who should be playing and what's going on. Like, enjoy the week. Like, think about where this team was weeks ago. Nobody would have predicted this. Nobody could have predicted this. So just enjoy the week, man. That's it. This is going to be an amazing week, and it's going to be a fun-ass game, man. That's all I'm excited about.
Yeah, mentioning Ted Lasso, I'm actually catching up in all of Ted Lasso.
Ted Lasso is one of the best shows in the world.
Yeah, I just finished the first season. I'm on season 2, early into season 2. But yes, you did say at Levi's. I know you meant at Lumen Field.
No. What I was saying is we get a chance to finish this game, and it's not at Levi's at home, and it's not at Glendale. It's in Seattle. You get to finish the era in Seattle. That's what I meant by that. This isn't a home game. You get to finish them in their home. Their fan base gets to watch. They get to watch the era end. Their fan base, the 12s, they get to sit there and watch their 12-year fandom die if the 49ers continue and they win this game. That's what I meant, is finish the job in front of them. Not at Levi's where there's no Seahawks fans, not at Glendale where there won't be any Seahawks fans, in their stadium where their whole team can watch. Right in your crib, in your house, in front of all of you. You get to watch the whole thing die. And then we get to watch their post-game show where their podcasters lose it. And that is going to be double fun. I am going to sit in front of my laptop like this, warming my hands up like it was a fire. That's it. Finish the job. Finish it.
Not an away game. Not an away game. Not an away game. Home game. Home game. For the Seattle Seahawks.
And you get there, be loud. Be louder than them. Be louder than them. And be red. Please.
I can't wait. Can't wait. Let's hopefully let's do it for Bowman. Let's do it for Bowman. Let's do it for Bowman.
I'll leave Bowman, do it for all those guys.
All of them that had to go through it. Even Kaepernick, he had to go through it there. Michael Crabtree, that whole scene, even though he wasn't the most fan favorite player, but you know, he was still wearing red and gold at the time. He had to go through it. Let's go ahead and do it. Let's end the chicken, cut the neck, put it in rotisserie, and eat it all up. Please, 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 please. That's what I want my dinner to be on Sunday night. We'll catch you next Tuesday. I appreciate all of you in the comments. It's been fun. I enjoy this. That's why we stick here for an hour and a half. It's just fun. My wife's gonna tell me that I got nothing done for the day, but hey, you know, it's all worth it. I appreciate you guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, share the channel to anybody that you may know. I don't even care if they're a Seahawks fan. That's another reason why you probably should share it to them. Talk to you guys soon. Have a good one.